Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to London, England. This is Bellator 134, the British Invasion. This will be Bellator's biggest event for 2015. We're showcasing 5 of the UK's most exciting fighters and featuring 2 world title fights, the first of which will be our main event, where Douglas Lima will defend his title against the UK knockout specialist Paul Semtex Daley. Now, Paul has 26 wins on his record, all coming by KO. He is known as Semtex, but has dynamite in both hands. He's won 6 of his last 7 fights and will be hoping to gain the title and walk away with the belt. Paul Daley, ladies and gentlemen. Next up is our co-main event, another title fight, a world championship, where the current title holder, Emmanuel Newton, will take on unbeaten UK fighter Liam McGeary. Liam has 9 wins by KO or submission. He is a finisher, and he hopes to go home with that world title belt. All of his 6 Bellator wins have come in the first round. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, Ranul Sokaju will be taking on Linton Vassell in a light heavyweight feature fight. Linton the Swarm Vassell, another exciting UK fighter. 12 of his 14 wins have come by finish, by submission or KO, and he's won 9 of his previous 10 fights. He's on a winning streak and hopes to come home victorious. Next up, in the 265-pound heavyweight division, we feature an absolute colossus. Bobby Lashley will take on UK fighter James the Colossus Thompson. James has 11 wins by KO, 7 by submission, but he's on a win streak as well, with 5 of his previous fights being won by finish. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we have an absolute cracker of a fight. 2 unbeaten fighters. Curtis Melender takes on phenomenon Michael the Venom Page. Mr. Page has 6 of his 7 wins, all coming before the end of the fight. He's a knockout specialist, very unorthodox with his stand-up. And even Anderson Silva was asked about Michael Page, and Anderson Silva said this guy is really, really special. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we'll open up the floor to some questions. These are your UK fighters. Any questions?
Morning, gentlemen. Start with Paul Daley out here on the left. Just your opening thoughts about this welterweight title contest.
Yes, massive opportunity. Fighting the champ on my return to Bellator. You know, I've been away for a while from the promotion. Haven't had some visa issues, but you know, I've been keeping busy while I've been away, and I think that I'm definitely going to be Douglas Lima's toughest test.
I'm just going to ask the same question going across. Just your opening thoughts on your upcoming contest, Liam.
Fighting for the title against Emmanuel Newton. I'm really looking forward to this. It's an honour to represent England on such a great stage. Fighting alongside with my friends here. It's a really, really good opportunity. I can't wait to February 27th.
Michael?
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting show. Just for me, even after I finish the fight or before I even go out and fight, I'm going to be like out there watching the rest of the guys, because it's just an amazing lineup, I believe, and I think I can add to that as well. So definitely going to go out there with a bang.
And Linton?
Yeah, no, I'm very excited for this fight. I've got Sokaju next. You know, as a tough opponent. Basically, this is me coming back, you know, from my last loss. So I've got to prove a point, and it's just special representing the UK and fight with my teammates. So I'm looking forward to it.
Thanks. And finally to James the Colossus.
Yeah, like everyone said, it's Bellator putting a lot into this. They're not messing around. They're really giving us a platform which is great. They're giving an alternative to the fans and for the fighters to the UFC, which is massively important. So I'm very proud to be part of it. All us lot, you know, we really do get get on like a house on fire. Excuse me. Yeah, so no, he's great, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm pleased to be part of it.
Guys, Paul and Liam, obviously Bellator invested in you guys, building your brands in America, but do you know, or have you been told, that should you win the fights, you're going to get a defence in the UK?
I don't really know if I'm allowed to say, but there has definitely been some talk of Bellator bringing the brand to the UK. A few venues have been mentioned to us, and when me and Liam do get the belts, I'm sure that you will see Bellator in the UK not too long after.
To fight in the UK for Bellator would be a great experience. I've never actually fought in the UK. I fought in Jersey, but never in England itself. So to fight in my own country would be an absolutely awesome experience. And for Bellator, being the world champion alongside Paul, yeah, I'll be looking forward to that as well.
And again to you, Liam, obviously you relocated to New Jersey full time in the US after spending some time in Jersey and obviously England. Do you feel like the UK MMA sort of media and whatever have maybe overlooked it a little bit because you're not as present in the UK as some of these other guys are?
Yeah, I kind of I left being in Jersey. There was very small opportunities for training. I left the England scene a long time ago, and I kind of just went over to America just to see how I was going to get on over there. And then things just went one thing after another, and before I knew it, I was fighting for Bellator. Now I'm getting this opportunity. So the English MMA scene is not overlooked. It's up and coming. It hasn't been discovered yet. There's a lot of talent in the UK, and for us five to be representing England, and all the other fighters to come up to look at us and be like, right, well, they can do it, so why can't we do it? You know, we all come from backgrounds and we've all got history, so it's just, it goes to show that anyone can actually set foot up here and do what they want to do.
Cheers.
Question for Linton. Just your reflections on that fight with Emmanuel Newton, who Liam's going to be fighting. You know, you came close to getting the finish a few times, couldn't quite get it locked in. Do you feel like you're still in the title picture yourself, and also do you have any insights you could give to Liam?
Yeah, just, you know, push the pace on him. Is very slippery. You know, there's a few times I thought I had him in the rear naked choke, or there was a time I had him in the Kimura. You know, maybe just take your time a little bit. It's a 5-round fight, you know. He's got cardio for days as well, you know, so you got to look out for that. But yeah, I felt like, you know, I was inches away from winning that title, and you know, I've come away from this, you know, even more hungrier than before. You know, I know where I'm at and I know what to do. So yeah, the best advice I give him is, you know, it's going to be slippery, and you know, just be ready for everything.
Thanks, man.
Paul, we spoke to you last year and you said that you were expecting to fight someone before you fought for the belt against Lima. Can you tell us what changed?
Yeah, I fought in Thailand. I fought K1 Max and had a very tough fight. I was supposed to come back and fight for Bellator. Having got that win, then I would have been given the title opportunity. But you know, I was nursing a few injuries. I just wasn't fit to fight, basically. So, you know, luckily they gave me the opportunity anyway, so I'm thankful to Bellator for that.
Now, how are you feeling now? You mentioned just injuries. Is everything good for you at the minute?
Yeah, I'm good. You know, the fight in Thailand was difficult. You know, I took a lot of heavy kicks. I didn't like it much, and no, you know, I've had a lot of other MMA fights, and I don't think I've ever felt as terrible as I felt after that kickboxing fight in Thailand, and I was in a pretty bad way. But you know, it was something that I feel the experiences made me. Even though I won, the experiences made me a lot more strong and confident in what I'm able to deal with. Yeah.
Liam, you know, you mentioned you were quite good friends. You know, seeing how Linton did against Newton. You know, what are your feelings now? Is there a lot that you could take away from that fight to add to your own game plan?
Yeah, there is. I mean, I watched that fight over and over and over again. That's his last fight, Linton's last fight. So it's great to see my friend and see the things that he was doing, and they were working for him. I can take a lot from that. and also the stuff that I do as well, you know, and that Kimura, yeah, I remember that Kimura, man. Should have snapped his fucking arm, man.
I tried.
But yeah, no, I've taken a hell of a lot from his fight and from all of his other fights. So yeah, man, this fight is going to be it's going to be electric. It's going to go off, man.
Liam, you've risen through the ranks quicker than a lot of other fighters managed to do. With just 9 professional fights under your belt, are you confident that now is the right time in your career for a world title shot?
Yes, I believe it is. I've been fighting around for years, you know, and for now, I wanted to fight the best people that I could fight and work my way up from the next one. So they've always got better each. The caliber of every fighter has got better each time. So now I won the tournament, I did what I needed to do, and now the next step is the world title. I win that world title and then I'm going to defend it.
And it's been 6 Bellator fights, 6 first-round finishes. Do you ever find yourself stopping and thinking just how quick this is all coming about? Is it all a bit of a shock to you sometimes?
Yeah, sometimes I lie there in bed at night time and I kind of start thinking about what's actually going on and how fast, and then... But then I try and stop myself from thinking, because then if you get overwhelmed and you start worrying about what's going on and you're overthinking things, so I just try not to think about it that much. I just go to the gym and train more.
And question for Paul, you've been in so many big fights over your career against so many big names. Can you talk to us a little bit about the mindset going into this fight, obviously because it is still one of your biggest fights in your career?
I think it's one of Douglas Lima's biggest fight. This is not the biggest fight for me, and I think that is ultimately is what's going to win me the fight. You know, I've been around in the sport for a long time. I've got a hell of a lot of experience in MMA at a high level, and more recently at a high level in kickboxing. If you look at some of the names on the record, some of the guys that have been in there, and then you match them to the same period in time to the guys that Douglas Lima's fighting, you know, there's no comparison. Yeah, so it's definitely a big opportunity for Lima to try and get some recognition, but I'm just so overwhelmingly confident that I'm going to be too much for him, that, you know, in my mind the belt's already mine.
And finally, a question for Michael. Michael, if you look at your and Curtis's record, both undefeated prospects, the casual fan might say it's an equal fight, but to you, do you feel like Curtis is on your level?
Anybody that's I go into the cage with, in my head I'm going in there to win, so they're not on my level. So, no.
Fair enough.
Follow-up question for Michael. You know, when you introduced Grant Waterman, talked about Anderson Silva, you've caught his eye and he spoke about you and said this guy's good, really good. Obviously you get attention with those flash knockouts and stuff. Does that give you confidence, or does it create pressure?
Neither. I just take it for what it is. It's a massive compliment to come from someone, a fighter as established as himself, one of the greatest fighters like in MMA, full stop. So just to get that recognition is, you know, for me it's just like it's a privilege to hear. But at the same time, I can be the person that you know, Anderson Silva once mentioned, or I can be as big as Anderson Silva one day. So I'm not gonna hear it and just, like, you know, sit back and not train as hard and so on and so forth. I gotta keep pushing.
And James, you've had some ups and downs in your career, but you're riding a 4-fight win streak, and one of those wins is Bobby Lashley in 2012. Quite a close decision. Do you feel like Bobby's going to come in there highly motivated, looking to claw one back?
Yeah, I mean, whenever you lose to someone, especially when the fight was so close, it was a very close fight. So, you know, he's definitely going to come in, and especially with all the England US thing. Do you know what I mean? So it all adds to it. It's a big stage, like we said. So he's definitely going to come in hard and looking to kind of get that back. I mean, anyone would, but it's not going to happen, is it?
You take anything in particular from his last fight? Was with a fellow Brit, Carl Edmondson?
Yeah, not really. You know, he's just been kind of like every time. And the most the most serious test he's come up against has been me, and he lost that. And since then, he's just been kind of you know, beating a few donuts, and then, you know, he's come up against me again. So I know with Bobby Lashley, you know what, there's no surprises Well, I say that I might get surprised. Do you know what I mean? But there shouldn't be too many surprises with him. He kind of is what he says on the tin. You know, what did he say on the tin again? Can't remember what it said on the tin. Forget about the tin. No surprises. Forget about the tin. No comment.
James, Bobby has actually described this fight as a layup fight for him. I mean, basically, if it gets to the ground, he says that he will basically handle you quite easily. I mean, what do you say to that? I mean, he's levelled this at you, obviously coming off the back of a loss. I mean, what do you say to that?
No, not much really. You know, I gave him a lot of crap at the previous press conference. You know, just a bit of friendly stroke unfriendly banter. So you know, he's going to say things like that, and that's fine. And if he actually believes it, which I don't think he does, even better. So I hear things like that, and I just think nice one.
And Paul, Lima's basically said that he is going to stand and trade with you. First of all, do you believe him? And secondly, I mean, what do you see in Lima, if there are any threats to you?
Well, Lima is more than capable of holding his own standing against inferior opponents who can't match him for knockout power or speed or experience. Do I think he's going to stand with me? Probably for a little bit until he gets hit, and then his game plan will quickly change. There are very few fighters like me with such a high knockout ratio, and can confidently say that if I land a clean punch on you, I'm going to knock you out, and that is what I can do, and I do that with 100% conviction and confidence. With that in mind, I think Lima, after the first minute or the first trade-off, will be looking to take this fight to the ground. So yeah.
And finally, Michael, there's been a lot of criticism of you in the past in terms of calibre of opponents that you've faced. Would it be fair to say that this is your biggest test today, or have you had your biggest test, in your opinion, previously?
The thing is, I hear it all the time, and what's going to happen is after this fight, they're going to be like, oh, he wasn't good enough. They need to put this person in front of me. Then I'm going to beat that person. Again, with my style, sometimes I make people seem a bit easier than they actually are, because I think my last couple of opponents have been really good opponents, and even some of them since that fight have gone along to win their next fight in a good fashion. But again, just the way I fight, sometimes it kind of brings them down a little bit, and again just makes people say exactly the same thing every single time. I think I'm just going to have this for the rest of my career, full stop. Like, I'll get to a high level and it'll be like, no, they need to put this person in front of me. I beat that person. Oh, they should do this and they should do that. Again, people like Anderson Silva get exactly the same thing. Everyone in that level gets the same kind of treatment, really. If this stand-up person, you should put a wrestler against him, then they beat a wrestler. Oh no, you need a jiu-jitsu guy against him, or this and that. It goes on. So I just don't entertain it anymore. It's just something I know I expect now every time I finish an opponent.
Question for James. Obviously, you've already beaten Bobby Lashley. I know some people describe it as a close fight. What's the motivation for you going into this rematch, if you want to call it that?
Yeah, getting beaten up on TV really, really sucks. It's not fun at all, and I have actually done that a few times too. So yeah, I don't want to be doing that. You watch your motivation. That's I don't want to get too deep on that, but your motivation should always be to come out on top. It's got to be. That's got to be your motivation. Otherwise, you're in the wrong sport. So it's like I said earlier in kind of my opening question, this is a big stage, and it's Bellator providing an alternative a big platform, an alternative opportunity for fighters and fans other than the UFC, and that's very important, and I'm very proud to be a part of that, and I really want to put my mark on that and show that, you know, Bellator made the right move, and they're going in the right direction with us and especially myself. Sorry guys.
You know, seeing some of your counterparts getting title shots, you know, does that motivate you even more in this fight with Bobby to know that, you know, especially he is quite highly regarded in America, knowing that a win over him could put you, you know, 1 or 2 fights away from a shot at the belt?
Yeah, like someone asked me a question. You know, there's been a lot of ups and downs in my career. Like, you know, a lot of ups and downs. Oh, sorry, I was just having a flashback. It was. Yeah, no, yeah, that was horrible. So no, there's been lots of ups and downs, and what was the question? Seeing other people. Yeah, no, it's you know, seeing other people getting title shot. Definitely, you know, I'm going to start going on about ups and downs again. I'm very close to say ups and downs again. If I say that, just take me out, guys. Just take me out. No, but it is inspiring, you know, seeing Liam and Paul getting a shot. And Bellator coming to the UK, you know, it's going to happen. How is it not going to happen? Do you know what I mean? We're going to clean the board, and then you know, hopefully I'll get a shot, and it'll be in the O2, and it'll be wonderful. I hope you come along and witness it.
A question for Linton. You know, Sokoudou's considered quite a fearsome brawler, striker. You know, what's the game plan for you? Are you going to be happy to go and trade with him? We know, you know, you like to take it to the ground and get some submissions. You know, what kind of aspect are you looking at the fight from?
Well, the fight always starts standing, so obviously trade with him. But you know, I finish my fights from the ground. You know, everyone knows that. You know, obviously he can train to try and stop me, but can he stop me from getting him down there and stop me from finishing him? But, you know, to be honest, the game plan, take him down and just beat him up. That's how I win fights, and that's what I'm going to continue doing. So,
you know, in your preparation, have you been quite wary knowing that he's got that one-punch knockout ability?
Everyone's got one-punch knockout. You know, I'm not really worried about what he's going to do. I'm just concentrating on what I'm doing. I'm training with some of the top boys over in Florida at Black Zillions, you know. So I ain't worried about what Sokoudou's got for me. He needs to be worried what I'm going to do to him.
One for Michael Page. Michael, you know, we just mentioned earlier that sometimes you find yourself getting criticism for, you know, some of the caliber opponents you're facing. You know, after this fight, what do you think that you need to do to kind of shut the critics up and show them that you are the real deal?
Like I said, I don't believe they will. There's always going to be somebody different, but I say it all the time, every time I speak to any kind of press or do any kind of interview, that I am taking my time. I still feel like I am a baby in the sport. When you got people like, again, Paul and James sitting on the same table as you, and you know their kind of experience, I am an absolute baby in this sport, you know what I mean? So I'm just taking my time. I just have to keep winning, keep putting on a show, and then just seeing whatever you know, option comes in front of me, and I go from there.
Question for Liam. Liam, obviously in 2014, the only thing on your mind would have been the tournament when it came to MMA. Moving forward now, does that change the way does it make an impact on the way you prepare for the fights moving forward? Now you're moving away from that tournament format.
No, I mean, as James says, it sucks getting beaten up on TV. So you don't want to get beaten up. You don't want to lose. I don't like losing. So every fight I go to train for, I treat it as a tournament final, or the first round of the tournament, I treat that as a tournament final. You know, this title fight it is what it is. I'm training for a title fight, so there's nothing. There's no day that I'm not thinking about this belt. There's no minute of the day that I'm not thinking about the belt. Every time I drift off of my own little world, I'm dreaming about the belt, head kicking, punching, finishing on the ground, anything. It's always on my mind every minute of the day. So yeah, this is what I'm looking forward to, February 27th. Just stop the fight going on in there, and I can get on in here then, you know.
And a question for Linton. Obviously, the toughest thing for a fighter to do is to rebuild and revitalise yourself after a loss. Specifically, have you changed anything up in your training to ensure you get back on the winning track?
You know, I just train as I always train, but maybe just add a little bit more fitness in, a bit more strength conditioning. But usually just train the same. The major thing I did do is just sort of not change camps, but go and train over in the States. So that's something I always wanted to do, and I think this loss definitely gave me the push to do that. So that's the main thing I've done, is just gone over to Florida and started training with some of the other boys over there.
Linton, another one for you. Obviously, it might be sort of the elephant in the room, because this is being billed as, you know, the UK team and everything like that. But you fought for the title last time. Obviously, Liam's fighting for the title this time. You went to a very well, it wasn't a close decision, but you went into the championship rounds, and you came very close to beating the champ. Obviously, you know, you two are now sort of pals and friends. How do you view potentially that matchup in the future? Because obviously that's what you're aiming for, the belt, and that's what Liam wants as well.
Yeah, we've been asked this question a few times, obviously, like what would happen. But we said, well, when it comes to that, then obviously we'll deal with it. You know, we both in the same weight categories, both got our careers going for that title. So obviously when it comes to it, then obviously we'll have to fight. But, you know, I'll take one step at a time. Sokoju's next, and then whoever they got next, obviously take that person out as well. So, you know.
Yeah, and just as an aside to that one, I don't know what's gone on, but obviously you're being presented as a team. Have Bellator made any efforts to kind of get you guys all together and train together and, you know, work as a unit before you head over to the US?
At the moment, we haven't really trained together. I've trained with James for a couple of fights, but the other boys, I haven't trained with them. But we all live, well, Liam lives in New York, so obviously it's a bit hard for everyone to sort of come together. But yeah, we haven't actually trained together yet, no. But I will be training with Paul near the end of the camp over in Florida before the fight. But you know, one day I think all of us can sort of meet up and train together. So I think it's just a bit hard for everyone to come all together and train.
Yeah, and just to bring Grant into the mix, I mean, is there a specific involvement? Are you moving forward? Are you sort of consulting? Obviously, if Bellator have got UK aspirations, which clearly they have, I mean, are you being brought into the fold officially? Could you tell us any more about that?
Can't really say that much about that, but Bellator have got some huge plans this year. This show is the biggest show, the biggest card in the world, featuring 5 of the UK's most exciting fighters. It could be a launch pad for the future. I'm sure we'll see Bellator over in the UK pretty soon, you know, but there's nothing actually down on paper yet. But keep your eyes peeled.
Let's go last question.
Yeah, question for James. James, you've been fighting in the cage now for well over a decade. How much more are you looking to get out of your MMA career? Are you setting any limits?
That's a good question. No, it's like Liam said, you know, it's very easy to overthink. At the moment, I ain't got too much to think about. And when I say that, I mean physically, I'm fine. It's just mentally. No, as in, it's just I mean, I'm fine mentally. This is going terrible.
Well, smashing the table.
I'm going to revert to the turning over and great. No, yeah. So, yeah, no, I'm mentally fine, sir. No, hang on, no, I said that. No, it's... I'm not very good at these things at all. Yeah, physically I'm fine. Mentally, it's how much you want to keep doing it, and how much, you know, like you said, what's going to make it's a big deal going in there and fighting in front of people. There's a lot of pressure, and it does get easier, or you get used to how hard it is as you kind of do it more and more. I've made a lot of mistakes in my career, and now I'm at a point where I think I haven't shown my best for various different reasons, all which come down to myself as well. So what I want to do is show, obviously, you know, people put me in for the freak show fights, and you know, I'm a very big guy who got to a very high level without having that much actual skill, and it's been very tough learning in the spotlight. So I'm in a position now where I just want to show that, you know, I have learnt a bit, and I'm not just a big scary freak show fighter. I'm that as well as. A really good kisser.
Okay, guys, that wraps it up. I think we can see that all 5 fighters are hungry and super confident, and they're all ready for war. And we just can't wait for February the 27th. So there you have it.